Have you ever become boring and you didn't really realize it? I lived a very crazy wild life my first few years in Colombia. For those of you tuning in for the first time, I'm Phil Jelvik. This is my channel. Currently living in Medellin, Colombia. I'll be moving back to the States, to Miami, in just a short couple of months here. And I was very wild. I lived for excitement. It was fun at the time, totally unsustainable, many consequences. Fun for the moment, not as long as I stayed in it for 3 years or whatever. And for me, maybe you can relate. As guys, as entrepreneurs, as people that want to grow, we can get dialed into a routine, systems, discipline, and we can become kind of boring. And the worst thing than becoming kind of boring is becoming kind of boring and not knowing you've become kind of boring. I remember years ago, a couple years ago, not too long ago, but years ago, a girlfriend said that to me. She's like, you're not as fun as you were, or whatever it was. And I was annoyed because that was in the moment, that was such a part of my identity. But it's something that happens to us. It's like, as guys, especially, want to learn, that want to grow, we have that part of us that's like raw, wild energy. That part of us that just wants to go have fun, be free. Again, that was my first 3 years in Colombia. It's totally not sustainable to live that way, to have a life that way, to grow a business that way, to build a family that way. But we have this part of us that's kind of like a wild animal that needs to be taken care of as well. And then we have this other part of us that's about the systems, the rules, the structure, tracking your Oura ring, knowing your macros. And it's super necessary if you want to grow. It's like the bones. It's like, if I take someone and I ask them, I say, hey, can you go walk to that bathroom over there? It's 23 feet or, whatever it is, 10 meters. And they're like, sure. It's like, if I remove 8 bones of my choice out of their body and they have to still get to the same bathroom, maybe they can, maybe not. They have to drag themselves there because they don't have the necessary structure in order to grow or to get the result. And as guys, when we become kind of boring, when we've had a lot of structures, frameworks, rules, and disciplines, which are great, which are necessary, but we forgot to have fun. We forgot that life is supposed to be exciting. Like, there's a good saying, one of my favorite quotes is, how does it go? It'll come to me. We don't dance because we're happy. We're happy, so then we dance. Something like that. Like, for me, that one rings true for me. Maybe for you, it's singing. Maybe it's driving fast. Maybe it's playing the guitar. I know I feel good when I'm dancing. Doesn't matter if anyone's here. Mark Anthony is always in my living room. So is Rag de Lobo. I don't dance to him as much, but I'll sing. And I've had more people, more clients come into my life recently where life just hasn't been as exciting. And sometimes we can have a block or a resistance. It's kind of warm with the rain coming. A block or a resistance to why life might not be as fun, exciting, passionate. And sometimes as we get older and we're growing, we just forget. We forget because we get so dialed into being an adult. We forget that there's a 5 or a 10-year-old that just wants to have fun. Again, if this part runs your life, it's totally unsustainable. It's like, think about this. If you're driving the car of life, this part of you is always with you. And sometimes we become so uptight in achievement, in personal growth, in hitting the macros and making the money and whatever it is, and tracking our Oura ring, that fun kid, he's in the car, but he's like in the 3rd row and he's like duct taped up so he can't say anything or cause trouble. No matter what, he's in the car. So what if we were to make the experience of life nice for everyone in the car? He's not driving. He's not giving directions. But I bet he would have a lot better time if he could have some fun in the backseat with his iPad and some cookies and snacks and stuff like that. Maybe he's going to talk a little too much at times, but you got him. And on this topic of excitement, of fun, of reawakening that fire, it makes me think about push and pull. A lot of times I see a lot of guys, high achievers. One of the worst things that we can do is having that push mentality, and it can be push, 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 and there's not an emotional connection or an excitement to the goal. And then you get there and the goal feels fairly flat and fairly empty. All this work, all this discipline, all this stress, whatever it is, and the goal feels fairly empty because we were pushing ourselves to it. And sometimes if we haven't taken a look at really our own wiring of what makes us tick, we pushed ourselves to this thing that made us achieve something that we thought was going to handle something from our past. Like, man, I'm just going to crush it, and I got to have a business that does this much, or and I'll be good enough. My dad will accept me. And sometimes people don't really care that much. We can think that our self-acceptance is hinged on our Father's approval, and we achieve the thing and it doesn't work. Or we've been good and we've married, or dated high quality women, and we finally get married, and my mom will finally see that I'm a good guy, not like I was in high school, and mom doesn't respond the way you think she should. Because we're looking through these outside things, or for these outside things, as something that's outside of us. And oftentimes we're using, it's a fuel source, but it's not a fuel source that feels good in the body. I don't know if you can relate to this in the past. I have clients where when we're doing things on push, it's easier for addictions to come in. When we gotta get up and, I gotta do this workout because, I'm in this stupid mastermind, and me and my 8 buddies, we committed, and I got a wedding, and there's something funny about the male experience. You can describe how a man feels as like the quality of an erection. If that is your experience, I gotta do it. You made this commitment. Is that erection get the job done? And it's almost like, if you think about now, that may show up in other areas of life, maybe even physiologically, in your muscles and other things. But sometimes we're running on this push energy. When you see people, and maybe you know someone personally, that maybe they're a bit delusional, but they have a zest for life. They have a passion for life. They have a hunger for life. Because they don't feel that push to just get things done, they don't seem to fall into doom scrolling or drinking, or how many countries and how many women can I sleep with? How many countries? You can't sleep with countries. How many countries can I go to, and how many women I can sleep with? When we have pull, and pull requires aliveness, pull requires passion, pull requires excitement. And I'll leave you with this as we wrap up here in a minute. What if your excitement was actually leading you somewhere? Not just some new age bullshit on the internet, but there's actually more to it. Let's see, I don't have my second phone over here. Forget the root word of excitement is the God within. Excitement feels good. Feel like a kid, feel like a teenager. Excitement, there's almost like a horniness to it in a way, I'm excited. Life kind of is dull without excitement. And as a guy who's growing, one of the paradoxes about growing is you're actually oftentimes more stressed because you want to achieve things. People that have half gave up on life, that are kind of like, well, I'll get a raise in a couple of years, and I have this, and I smoke some weed and watch some Netflix, and it's a less stressful life. I wouldn't say it's as deeply fulfilling, but as people that want to grow, we can be so hard on ourselves. Ask me how I know. And the other thing is we can get, like I said earlier, boring that we have all these things, these rules that need to be a certain way, or we need to hit macros, and we can forget the fun, the passion, the zest of life. So I invite you to create something that pulls you towards it in your future, and to remember the power of your own excitement. And if you forgot about it, do what one of my clients just did. Go take a random fun vacation. His was planned out a couple weeks ago, just happened to align perfectly with the session. Go do something fun. When's the last time you went on an adventure? When's the last time you did something new for the first time? Thank you for tuning in, and see you on US soil very soon.